I'd write her a song, so I wrote her a song for her awesome show. Her show is cool and it's lots of fun, so get your popcorn ready, everyone. Who will she interview on her show today? The Jonas Brothers or Nick Lachey? It's the Awesome Ashley Show. The Awesome Ashley Show.
Hi, welcome to the Awesome Ashley Show. Today I have a live audience, my first live audience.
Come on, live audience.
So I hope I do well for you guys today.
Me too.
I have Jerry Caruso with me. He's a comedian. He's going to do some comedy for us a little bit later. But right now he's going to be in the hot seat.
Hot seat, I'm in.
And being interviewed. Hi, Jerry.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Is that one of your questions?
Yes.
That's all right. That's all right.
How did you become a comedian?
It all started way back when I was in elementary school. I went to Catholic school, and I used to entertain all the kids in the schoolyard. The nuns used to get mad at me all the time. They used to get furious with me, probably because I was funny, probably funnier than them. And they said 7th and 8th grade, and then I took a break. And then when I got in high school, I reappeared in junior year at another Catholic school. Maybe that's what it is. Catholic school feed comedy. And so I did my thing there, made people laugh, and then I just took a break of like, I don't know, 17 years. I don't know
Wow.
why. 17 years, and I went into comedy when I was 38. That's what I always like to joke around. I always like to make people laugh.
That was another question. Did you always like to joke around?
Yeah,
before
ever
you
since I
became-
was a kid. The best thing I tried to do was do voices. So when I did voices,
Impressions,
yeah,
too?
I did impressions of relatives, of my dad, and I'd entertain the family. They'd be PO'd at me by the time we got home, but the rest of the family loved it. They thought it was the greatest thing in the world. So they said, "Oh, you should do comedy." And my dad used to always tell me that. And then shortly after my dad passed away, I just went into it, years down the road, and said, he always wanted me to be a comedian. So it's like, he always said, do some impersonations, do some voices. Well, yeah, and I used to play around, and then after a while, I'd say, I'm not doing it for you because I'm not getting paid.
Right.
Father wasn't paying me, but I had fun with it, and I just stuck with it. And then I got into a company, Digital Equipment Corporation, and someone says, we want you to roast this woman, this supervisor who's leaving.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about her. I go, I don't know anything about her. I just make jokes. And I made jokes, I did voices, and they all told me, you should go to Nick's Comedy Stop, famous comedy place in Boston. And they said, they have an open mic. You should go, and we'll follow you. And lo and behold, I made an appointment, and I had a show on September 13th, 1993. They hired a school bus. It was like, I didn't see them there. I got there, they're not there yet. So me and the guy from Nick's were looking out the window. He goes, who's that school bus out there? I go, that's either the Partridge Family or those are my friends from work. And they all staggered out of the bus because they let you drink beer on the bus. Hope the driver was fine. And I had like a third of the audience. And from there, I just kept at it.
When was your first live audience?
That was like, not counting that private show, I would say it was September 13th, 1993 at Nick's Comedy
Wow.
Stop in Boston.
Were you nervous?
A little, but I think what made me less nervous is knowing I had support out there and I had friends out there. At least I think they were my friends, and family. And I just didn't hold the mic. I stood away from the mic, but I still made an impact. And
Right.
luckily, my friend from work, John, he recorded the show on VHS tape, which that's not that old.
They don't do that anymore.
There's about 70,000 in the back when I was going to the bathroom. I tripped over them. He had recorded it, and I got to see it. And I sat down and watched and said, boy, does that guy suck. But it turned out that was me. But then I knew how to change things, and slowly but surely I developed my act. So.
Now, when you're at home, do you joke around? Are you same at home as you are when you do a comedy show?
When my wife don't applaud for me, so that's missing. And a cat, cats, they don't give a shit pretty much. Cats just sit there and it's like, who are you? Feed me. Pat me. That's enough. That's enough. You want to see my teeth? Yeah, that's how you should do it. Like I joke around at home when I find the opportunity. Whenever we fight, and we don't fight that much because she's part Irish, and I figured when she's sober, she could be tough. No, I'm kidding. She doesn't drink. My wife's a saint. Trust me. So when we ever argue, I always try to lighten it up at the end by saying a joke, and that always seems to clear things up. Stop the police too. So.
Do you have any grandkids?
Do you have any grandkids? Yeah, I have two grandkids and one on the way, so it'll be three. Isaac, who's 7, and Madeline, who's 5. Here's the funny thing about the grandkids. They're smarter than me. No. Here's the funny thing about the grandkids is that they were both born 3 days after our birthdays. Like my wife, Isaac, is 3 days after my wife. Madeline is 3 days after me. It's so weird.
That's awesome. Though.
Exactly to the T3.
That's really cool.
But they're good. They're good kids, and Isaac is like a little comedian. He just tries to be funny.
That was another question. Are they comedians? Just like.
See how good I am? I know your questions. No, I didn't know him. Is he? Yeah, he like jokes around. He'll call me up and tell me jokes and stuff, or he'll leave me a joke on my phone. He'll say, how do you fix a broken pizza? He'll say tomato paste. It's like, oh God, I'm gonna use that. No.
Do they ever come to your shows?
Only if I did something that was open to the public. I'd say no, but if I joke around in front of them, they know they're getting a free show.
Yeah.
But they're cute. And the third one is on the way through my daughter. Those are my son Matt's kids, and they're gorgeous. They're the greatest things in the world. Any grandparents here? Yeah. Is it the best thing in the world? You could fill them full of chocolate and caffeine and then send them home.
It spoiled them too.
How come they're so wild? I don't know. Must be you guys. No.
Were you ever the class clown in school?
Oh, dear God. Yeah. Senior year, it was between me and another guy, and we're good friends to this day. And we used to always joke around. Like, I remember the worst joke. You want to hear the worst joke that I ever wrote? I don't use on stage. You remember the little flare pens they used to come up with? They're like markers, like thin markers. So I remember this serious English teacher. He wouldn't let me in the class because he said, I know you're a joker. I'm not going to let you in my class. I'm going to transfer. I go, Rick, or Mr. Morris. I go, I'm sorry. I'll be good. Very first day, we had to write a paper. And he got him back. He goes, Mr. Caruso, I must say, you have a flair for writing. I go, I use a Bic, I told him. See how bad that joke is? So, like in school, I do like impressions of teachers and nuns. And then senior year was a blast because I did the senior banquet. I was like the big shot. There was a girl who sang, one girl who played the piano. Yeah, that was great. That was artsy. That was nice. But then I got on and just started ranking on the nuns in a nice way, because I knew I had to graduate. I thought that was important.
Do you have to practice your comedy before a show?
Well,
is that a tough question for the comic?
No, considering I'm not that funny, that's a joke. Considering I'm not that funny, what I try to do is I'll just go over things. Like if I want to do something new, then I can go over it. Like I think of new jokes, and I say, like, okay, I could change that, or I could do that. But no, I mean, and sometimes I practice with people, and I always make fun of people, the other comics that do that. Mm-hmm. But I'll practice on people just for the heck of it, just to see if something I said an hour ago or a couple days ago is that funny. And if I know that 3 or 4 times people are laughing at it, then I'll give it a try. But I never practice. I mean, if I practice, could be on my wife. I'll say, what do you think of this? Like my wife always says, she comes to as many shows as possible. So she'll say, I go, do you want to come to my show? You got any new material? I go, no. She goes, I'll stay at home.
Because she already knows your stuff.
She knows it. She can probably do my act probably better than me.
No. Now I heard you teach comedy.
Yep.
How does that work? You do it every month? You do it once?
Well, it all depends. I teach it, don't be impressed too much, folks. I teach at community colleges. No, that's what I graduated from, community college. 7 of the best years of my life. You got that. That's good. See, they got 2 years, You want to hear another terrible joke? I won't bring this stage. I tried it a few times, and people go like, let's see if you do the same thing. I did go to community college. I actually have 2 degrees. One's in computer science. I call it. Back then it was data processing or key punch cards, whatever the heck it was. And the other one was business management. My joke was I decided to go for another degree because I liked the college so much. And I said, I want to break down into different areas. I want to go into law enforcement. I couldn't do it. It was tough. It was murder in the third degree. They actually like that joke. I may throw that back on.
Yeah.
So how do I teach it? Well, I've been teaching since 99. 1999, I started teaching at the college near me called Mount Washington Community College in Gardner. 2002, I started teaching in Greenfield, at Greenfield, this is all in Mass, Greenfield, Mass, and never stopped. And now I started teaching at Quinsigamon Community College. That's Indian for you can't afford a big school, so you're going here. No, Quinsigamon's named after a lake, I think. I don't know what it is. So I teach there since 2010. Here's the funny thing about that. There's a radio station across the street from the college. I don't know why, I never knew it existed. There's a big white dish. I go, it's got to be a radio station. So they asked me to be on the show. And they asked me, quote unquote, they go, we want to ask you a question. They're talking to me about comedy, being a local guy doing comedy. They go, how do you teach comedy? Just like you're going to ask me. They said, what is the big secret? What do people need to perform?
Right.
How could someone be a comedian? What do they need? I go, $80. That's how much it costs. I tell them, they make it seem like it's a big secret but you have to believe in yourself to be funny.
Right.
So I've been teaching it ever since.
Because I thought you had to be personally funny before you ended up.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of them take it. See, people take my classes for one woman had sent her husband to throw him out of the house because he had no sense of humor. He was dead serious. He was serious about his job. She goes, I bought you comedy class as a present. He never did anything with it, but he was kind of funny. Some people take it for stress relief. Some people take it just out of curiosity. Some take it to pursue comedy.
Right.
I'm not saying that I coached a bunch of new comedians, but what I like about it is I could help people along the way, because when I started, I didn't have much help. So I figured, why can't I help people before they get started? So.
Well, my thing is, I've had 13 surgeries, all on the hips, both hips. They both were dislocated.
My God.
So, you know, for me, laughter is the best medicine, and that my mom always got me this pillow that had, you know, laughter is the
That's
best medicine
cool.
on the pillow. So every time I had surgery, it was next to me. So that's, you know, my saying in life is live, laugh, love. You know. And
Absolutely, I agree with that.
so you know. So this couldn't have came at a better time
Good, I'm glad.
with everything going on with my family.
Yeah.
So
Well, thoughts and prayers to your family.
thank you. I appreciate it. So what is your favorite saying? Do you have a saying before you go on? Do you pray before you go on the show?
I pray that people
do
laugh.
do you have
Pray
like
as an audience.
do you have like a
Pray real hard when I get in the door.
do you have
people
like
here.
do you have like a method you do before you do comedy shows?
I just always sit in my car and say, why are you doing this? No, I sit in my car and I'll talk to God and I'll say, I hope I have a real good show, and I'll try not to leave those 4-letter words. I'll leave them out, or I'll try.
Right.
But that devil, you know, But I mean, that's all I try to do. I always say, give me a good show, and you know, I want to make people laugh, and that's my normal ritual, you know. Or I'll
That's
just
cool.
on the drive up, I'll just shut the radio and just throw up a message and stuff. I think it's cool.
That's
Love
cool.
it. Love it.
I have this bracelet on all the time when I have a show.
What does that say?
It has my friend Nick and Jenny. They passed away.
Oh,
so
I'm
they're,
sorry.
They're always with me when I do a
That's
show.
cool.
So yeah, it's really cool. So
You know, because that's why I laugh.
it's really weird too, because you know some people believe it, some people don't. So
I really think that people, when they pass away, look, I'm no medium. If I was a medium, I'd be a large medium. Did you get that? You get that large medium? Anyway, but I knew a girl who's a medium, and she's a big girl, so she could be an extra large medium. But anyway, no, she's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart. She does good. She told me stories that she's seen. I'm one that believes that if people pass on and they're real close, they kind of stick around. You become your guardian angels.
exactly.
And they, you know, they can't follow you around everywhere, but
Right.
it's like they stick around and like if you ever went to a medium and asked them, hey, what would Nick? It was Nick and Jenny, did you
Yep.
say? What would Nick and Jenny? And you'd be shocked.
You know,
and they'd probably tell you they're with you now.
You know what's funny though is sometimes I believe it, sometimes I don't, because they try to get things out of you.
Yeah.
So I never know if it's, you know.
Oh, like a medium itself? Yeah. You know what I think? If people do it and they do it from the heart, now this becomes about a medium and not about me. With the mediums, some people have God-given skills and God-given talents to do that. As long as they're sincere and it's from the heart, and if they ask you all these questions and they're really affiliated, like I'll watch Teresa Caputo.
Oh, I love her. I want her to show so
Oh
bad.
God, she's insane. But she's funny and she's got a great personality. But it seems like she'll nail a lot of the stuff about them.
Without you even telling her.
Yeah, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
So there are some people that are like that. And my friend Robin had told me, her name is Robin Marie. She's an absolute doll. She does a lot of good things. She told me her and her cameraman were doing something. She was also a ghost hunter too, kind of like one of those things. But she uses her medium skills to talk to spirits. So I guess her cameraman said, they're in Pennsylvania. They're in an old cemetery, and they said, "We want to go." Guy goes, "I know my great-grandfather's buried here. I don't know where." They said it's on a hill, and there were hills everywhere. Something led him to the top.
Yeah.
And to one of the highest points, and lo and behold, there was a grave. Above the grave was a bright, bright light, and all Robin said, and this guy told the same thing, as they saw like a transfiguration of the infant Jesus. And I'm like, oh my God. And she goes, Jerry, it was unbelievable. and so I think some people have that ability.
Yeah.
There are some people that try to use that.
Yeah,
say, oh, I'm a
try to
medium."
use that to their advantage.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think sometimes they just use it like for the money wise too.
Of course, and that's sad. That's sad stuff.
So I've never been to a medium before, but I'd like to,
Yeah.
But I feel like Nick and Jenny are kind of protecting Roger.
Of course.
So
I would think so
like,
too, yeah.
Like protecting him as much as they can,
Of course. Yeah, of
but
course.
that's how I feel. And people have different.
Yeah, and it's how you approach things. But as long as you feel good about that, if you have a good feeling about it, then it's good. That's what I always say.
So, are you ready to do some comedy for
No
us?
more questions? Nothing?
No more questions.
Nothing?
Nope.
Nothing about motivational speaking? Or
Oh yeah, motivational speaking.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up. She's good.
Do you do motivational speaking?
Oh my God. Funny you mentioned that. Yeah, I do a lot of motivational speaking to support groups, hospitals, about laughter is the best medicine.
See, we
Oh
have.
my God. This is amazing. She should have her own show. She's awesome. No, I talk about laughter is the best medicine. I'll go to support groups. I've talked to cancer support groups. I did a lot with the brain injury. They're called BIAMA, which is Brain Injury Association of Massachusetts. And I've done like 17 groups
Wow.
where I talk to them about laughter is the best medicine. And what I do is I'll present the health benefits of laughter, how it helps your brain, mostly helps your brain, your lungs, your heart, and your bloodstream.
Yep.
It does other things too, but it just mostly upper body.
Yeah.
It just seems nobody laughs with their legs. Okay, come on. Unless you got issues. So I'll talk to and I'll mix clean humor, clean
Yeah.
family
Yeah.
humor with them, and they really enjoy that. And then they give me a Q&A afterwards. The biggest thing that I did is I got invited to. You guys hear of Salem State University? You guys know of it? All right, it's a university in Massachusetts. It's one of the great state colleges, like Maine has a bunch of great state colleges, Mass does too. And they invited me to an occupational health therapy conference. I lectured for over an hour.
Wow.
And they said, can you talk over an hour? I goes, I'm Italian. As long as you don't tie up my hands, I can talk. Or else I can't. But I loved doing that. Someone told me, a famous comedian who's hopefully he's in our prayers. If you guys ever heard of Bob Seibel. Bob Seibel is a comedian from Mass. Great guy. He's 73 years old. Still does comedy. Full of energy. Everything straight from the heart. He's dealing with cancer now, but we're all praying for him, and they've had a big benefit from him, and I hope to do something for him too down the road. He taught me, he goes, Caruso, he goes, comedy isn't going to cure cancer, but it's going to put it in remission for
Right.
that hour and a half that we do the comedy.
Right,
So
exactly.
that's what I always try to preach to people when I speak to them for a half hour to an hour. Hopefully it helps them deal with things better. So I love doing that. And, if you know of anything up here, just holler. I love doing it. I love going to places and just talking to patients, just to make their day a little better, give them some encouragement. But, people don't realize how laughter helps in so many ways. It's just amazing.
Because me and you were talking about doing another show.
We were?
Yes.
When?
I don't know.
Oh, no, was it the Barbara Bush?
Yes, because
Yeah.
I do a lot of things for Bobby
Yeah,
Bush.
yeah.
I've done 2 walks for Nick in Nick's
Neat.
memory.
Oh, that's cool.
I did it at Eastern Trails, and we raised money that way. Because I always try to do everything, you know, in their memory. So
That's
something once
cool.
a year. So
Yeah, no, we should do that. No, you mentioned a
Yeah.
place in Biddeford?
I think it's in Biddeford, but I don't know of any other place.
Mostly any restaurant would be good because what happens if we put on a show, you know, the restaurant will help promote it. We draw up a flyer.
Right.
Because they want their people to come, and you invite whomever
Right.
you want, and it'll be great. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
That'd be awesome.
You had one place, right?
Yes.
We won't mention it on the air because you
No.
haven't talked to them yet.
No.
Is it a restaurant?
I think it's a restaurant, but I'm not positive. It's like half restaurant, half not.
Oh, okay.
So it's like has a room for like
Oh,
things like
Like a
things,
function, yeah, function
and
hall,
then
yeah.
a restaurant part. So
It's in Maine, right?
yes, it's in Maine.
Down this part of Maine.
Yes.
You want to go way up north? You guys been way up north? Boy, it's an adventure.
Do you have to travel much for your shows?
Yeah, I usually travel. I used to do New York, and then I got smart because they hated Boston people there. No, I used to travel to New York, but then it got too much on the family because my kids were smaller then, and I'd be gone like the whole weekend. And I said, you know what? The money was good, but it wasn't worth it. I did that for like a couple of years and did a whole bunch of shows in New York. Now it's mostly New England, like Connecticut, Rhode Island, Mass. Not so much for Vermont. It's so weird because Vermont's weird. You guys like Vermont? I don't blame you. I got my sister-in-laws there. That's the only good part of Vermont there is because they're nice and they're cool people. But Vermont's different. But I do a lot in New Hampshire and Maine. I'm glad to be back in Maine, and I did something a couple of months ago for Lynn, for the
That's
Robbie
awesome.
Foundation, folks. Support the Robbie
Wasn't that where I met you? Was it at the Springs in Gorham? Isn't that
Yes,
where I met
yes.
you?
It was in Gorham, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to flash my green card there before I went to Gorham.
Flash your green card.
Kidding, I have a white card. Yeah, it was at Spire
Yes.
29.
Yes.
Hey, and I don't even live here. So let's see, was there anything else? Cable show, motivation. Yeah, motivation speaking did it. Oh, doesn't Comics for a Cure, is that somebody?
Yes.
Oh my God. Funny you mention that. I have a group called Comics for a Cure. I've been doing it since 1994. We raise money for worthy causes, nonprofit organizations, and we do comedy shows all over the place. So if you in the audience, you're saying like, yeah, what do you want out of me? If you know of any worthy causes, see me after the show. I'll leave you my business card, and we'll do stuff together. I don't mind because I love
awesome.
doing stuff together with people that I like, who I consider friends.
Well, of course you like me, right?
I was getting to that. All right. Everybody go, aw. Yeah, see that? I should be your agent. No, Heidi's got that. That's right. Heidi's all set. No, Comics for Cure, we've been doing it for years, and we do a lot of comedy shows. And I have people that perform for me. We go all over the place, and it's really good. A lot of shows for Relay for Life, for the Cancer Society, and a lot of just individual causes, like if someone had a fire or if someone lost somebody. I mean, it doesn't matter because I'd rather give. It's like my way to give back. It's kind of a good thing. And I have such kind-hearted friends like Larry Lee Lewis, Thomas Mitchell, Greg Bogus, Mark Riley. The list goes on and on and on. I have so many friends that'll chip in anytime.
That's
Dennis
awesome.
Worth, Bill Slemmer. I mean, these guys follow me around anywhere. We're doing one at the end of the month in Pepperell, Mass, right over the border. This a girl of mine that I know, battling cancer for 4 years, double mastectomy, hysterectomy, and she's like only 29.
Wow.
But they gave her 6 months, and she's been living 4 years now. So God bless her. And we're trying to raise money for her.
And I'm doing the Dempsey Challenge. This will be my
Yes.
second year.
October. She said whatever. I don't listen to her anymore.
No, it's near my birthday, so
And where is that at? Is that?
it's in. You're gonna make me think. Lewiston, Maine. Thank you.
Oh, Lewiston, Maine. Ah.
'Cause
Follow
he-
the trail of teeth and you'll
Yes.
find the people, right?
'Cause
I'm
apparently-
kidding.
Apparently, he lives in Lewiston.
No
so
kidding.
I don't
That's
know
cool.
if that's
That's neat. That's neat.
But he started it for his mom because his mom had cancer.
If they need anything, just holler, because if they want to do a show out there, I'd be glad to.
I will give them your card.
Oh, there we go. All right. Was that everything?
I think so.
Pretty much? Yeah, let's
Yes.
see.
Oh, do you have a thing called Joke in the Box?
No, that's a friend of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, why?
It was posted on your page. I didn't know if that was something that you're
I
with?
work for him.
Yeah.
I work for him. He's one of my former students, and Dennis Worth. He has Joke in a Box. It's he does causes, but he also does comedy shows, and he uses me a lot.
Do you do comedy shows by yourself, or do you have other comics that? Because I think when I saw you for the Robbie Foundation, there was like 2 other comics.
Yeah,
with you.
Mark Rowley and Thomas Mitchell. Yeah.
So are those comics always
There's a
with
whole
you?
bunch. There's a whole list of people who I'll employ. I always like to employ my friends. It's always like, what do they call it? Low maintenance. Like you don't have to worry about people not getting along. They
Right.
get along. We're all friends, and we have a great time. So if I do a show by comics for Cure, I'll do that. If someone hires me and said, "Do you have anybody else in mind you could bring?" and I'll name people left and right. But if they don't, I'll work with anybody. Because I love doing it.
Like
I love the headline. Love to make people laugh. I mean, you saw me that night. I did
Yes,
over an
I
hour.
was
It's like
like
over an
so-
hour.
It was so funny. So that's why I can't wait for them to see it.
Oh, all right.
Live.
All right. Is
Live.
there any other questions? I want to make sure.
There's no other
Heidi,
questions.
you got any more questions? She's all set. Okay. All right. All right.
So are you ready to show them your comedy?
Yes, I can do that. Of course, I'm Jerry Caruso. This is a very low-budget show. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing? Everybody doing fine? Everybody fine? Give yourselves a hand for coming out tonight. Give it up for Ashley. She's wonderful. Give it up for Ashley. And people have made donations to what's the Barbara Bush Children's Hospital, which that's very nice. And thank you for giving. People are collecting money. Give more. Give it up front. Everybody leftover money, give it to me. It's great to be here. My name is Jerry Caruso. I'm Italian. Not many Italians in Maine. I know there's only one in the audience tonight. She, like me, is on witness protection. So, my name is, I said, Jerry Caruso. I'm Italian. But let me tell you a little bit about my background, about me. Besides being Italian, let's get this out of the way. I was born with a lazy eye, okay? My right eye's a lazy eye. Remember growing up, I remember being 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, something like that, gathering my family and friends in a room saying, like, you know what? People are going to have to live with my lazy eye. They're going to have to deal with me. I want no surgery, no doctors. God made me like this. People should accept me. And my family and friends go, we're right behind you, Jerry. We believe in you. And by the way, we're right over here. Now, my wife will be married. Thanks for the extra laughter on the side here. My wife and I have been married over 30, let's see, we're going on 32 years. I got it right, isn't that right? Guys usually don't get it right. We'll be 32 years this November. Isn't that cool? 32 years. Someone has put up with me. Give up for my wife for putting up with me all that time. 32 years, God bless her. So my wife, when I met her some 32 years ago, a little over that, I told her, honey, do you mind this? She goes, what do you mean, do I mind this? I go, the lazy eye. She goes, of course it does not bother me. You have 2 beautiful eyes. You're a beautiful person. I go, will you stick by me? I mean, do you mind that I'm like this? She goes, why would I mind? She goes, I love you dearly. Well, apparently, folks, the woman who claims she's right behind me, today before I left, I hugged her, kissed her goodbye, told her I loved her. She thinks I'm seeing someone on the side. And you guys laugh at that. Wow. So it's great to be a comedian, great to make people laugh, but I believe in heritage. I believe in family. I'm 100% Italian. I know 1 Italian's in the audience, right? The rest of you are something else. That's okay. That's all we need to take over this town. 2 of us. That's it. We're Italians. We make a lot of noise. So it's great to be Italian. My mother, I love my mother. I'm lucky to have my mother still alive. My mother is gonna be 90 in August. Isn't that great? And how many of you still have your mother still around? Clap if you have your mother still around. It's wonderful. It's good stuff. Mothers and fathers make the family, but the mothers are special, especially being a mama's boy. My mother is great, but she's got the accent. Anybody get relatives with accents? Oh, it's a treat. I love trying to translate my mother. Let me tell you stories about my mother that make me laugh so much. The best one is this one. I've been doing comedy for, like I said, going on 22 years. My mother has not come to 1 comedy show. Isn't that sad? Do I get an, isn't that awful? My mother, not 1 show. I says, Mama, come see me do comedy. She goes, no. I not come and see you do the comedy. I go, why, Ma? She goes, no, I don't come. I go, I've opened up for Larry the Cable Guy, Lisa Lampanelli, Anthony Clark, Comics for Cure. I travel all over. I don't come and see you the show. I go, why? She says, because they laugh for you. I love her stories. I love when she asks me questions. I love trying to figure it out. It's all a game. I'm a mama's boy. Any mama's boys in the audience? You're looking at them. That's right. That's all right, sir. That's all right. She's a nice girl, but mama's boys are very important. Women, isn't this true? If you're with a guy that respects his mother, he's going to be good to you. Is this right? Yes. Only one. Okay, good. The other ones want the rich guys, which is good too. So my mother, I'm a mama's boy. I call her every weekend. But this freaky thing, she wasn't home. So finally I said, Mama, come on, let me come and see you. She goes, okay, why don't you come over to see me? What do you want to do? She goes, let's go for a ride. I go, all right. So I get over there, I go, where do you want to go, Mama? She goes, I want to go to the bitch, Jitty. I go, oh, I hate my ex-wife. I want nothing to do with her. 5 years of misery. Why do you bring her up? She goes, no, Jitty, the bitch, the ocean, the wave, the shells. I go, oh, the beach. She's amazing. When I was 18, I tried to move out. It's very hard for a mama's boy to move out, okay? They want you to stay. They don't want you to go. I'm the baby boy. So moving out at 18, my mother's crying. She goes, no, Jenny, please don't go. I said, Mama, I got a good job. I got a good place. I'm a man. You'll be proud of me. No, I cook. I'd do anything for you. Please stay. I go, Ma, let go of my leg. I'm moving upstairs. However, this has to be the best story, okay? Me and my brother were 6 and 7. Picture this. Snowy night, cold, snowy night, blizzard. And she threw my dad out. Now, fast forward 10 years. She told us why she threw him out. She threw him out because he was spiteful. Go back 10 years to when we were 6 and 7, this is how it came out. We're crying with him, Mama, where's Papa? What you do with Daddy? There's Daddy. She goes, I told not to your father because he's the Spider-Man. We were thrilled thinking Spider-Man lived under our roof. We're trying to figure it out. With 6 and 7, Daddy comes home late from work, fighting crime, Spider-Man. Daddy comes up from the cellar. He's got cobwebs in his hair. Secret headquarters, Spider-Man. But when Spider-Man came home during that snowstorm after the smoke all cleared, he got the all clear alarm to come in the house. Well, he goes, boys, you can get excited because you got no school tomorrow. There's a foot of snow out there. We got to go shovel snow. Put on your snowsuits. Took us about an hour because you couldn't get in those things. You were stiff. So we put on the snowsuits. Then Daddy put on the red long johns, and we figured it out. He was no Spider-Man. He was huge. He had a gut and all. He could not fight crime being that overweight. But what Daddy did freak us out and change us for the rest of our lives. He took a shot of brandy, and he downed it with it. Daddy, you're drinking. He goes, no, boys. I am not drinking. This liquid warms my blood, strengthens my muscles. I could shovel snow all night long. Here's your first shot of brandy. We said, no, Daddy, we're little boys. We can't drink. We're Italian. He showed us the belt. Forget it. We'd do anything at that point. So we drank that little shot of brandy. It burnt our little boy throats, but guess what? We shoveled snow all night long, 6 hours, 5 towns, 4 counties. We were in New Hampshire shoveling snow. Proud little boys. But Daddy didn't realize this. He created little alcoholics. The next year, we had rum cake for our birthdays. Anisette cookies for snacks, the Stelladora cookies. And we also had wine with every meal. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, recess. We didn't care. Finally, Daddy caught us in October, late October, the following year when we were 7 and 8. He come in the room screaming, boys, what's this all about? He caught us drinking full shots of Jack Daniels. Oh, my God, it got freaky. He's yelling, what's this all about? We said, Daddy, chance of snow. Crazy. So many women in the audience may think the same thing, but it's half and half here. Men aren't romantic, are we? We really try. We really try, but we don't do a good job. I remember my wife, when we first started dating, she said to me, Jerry, we found this theater near us, at Cambridge, a couple of towns over. Showed old movies, classic movies. She goes, I'm going to pick a romantic movie. What'd she pick out? Love Story. You know that movie, right? It was really nice. We hugged, we held hands, we walked in the moonlight. I stole a kiss. How do you steal a kiss, by the way? But anyway, I stole a kiss, and it was really nice. It was a romantic evening. I bought her a rose. It was beautiful. Next week, it was my turn. She goes, now you pick out a romantic movie. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a man. You know this, okay? What I pick out? Dances with Wolves. That night, I was known as sleeps on couch and plays with self. And, you know, so I do a lot of comedy, right? I do a lot of big shows like this. No, it's a joke. Get it? I do a lot of big shows like this. No, this is cool. So I do a lot of big shows, and I go everywhere. But when my kids were little, when I started doing comedy in '93, and they were, you know, up until they were in high school till the mid 2003, 2004, it was really tough because I go out. I feel bad for my wife because she's stuck at home. She's with the kids. She can't go out. The kids weren't that old enough. They didn't have licenses, so she had to occupy them. So at the end of the night, she had nothing to do. She'd be bored. She'd go to bed. I come home late doing shows up in Maine or New Hampshire or the other side of Mass or Boston. So I said, I got to get her a gift. You know what I got her? Tell me this is a nice gift. I got her a telescope. You know why? Because you look out the moon, the planets, the stars. It was beautiful. Every night I come home, she'd tell me, you know what I saw tonight? Any constellation, she'd go over stuff. But, you know, it was really good. But it worked against me. You know why? There were some nights I wanted to get home and get a little frisky, you know, make love, do something, okay? But my wife's looking out the damn telescope. She's telling me about everything she sees. Nothing would happen. I started to get Venus envy. It's a cute joke that doesn't work all the time, but you let me know that. But going back to my life, I said, I'm a mama's boy, right? So this is a cute little song. Every time I brought home a girl, my mother couldn't stand any woman that I was with. Any women ever go through that? You ever go through someone's mother? Look at her, she's looking at him. And the mother's like mean to your girlfriend, or if you're the girl, the mother's like nasty to you. Like my mother wouldn't talk to them. She'd look up at the ceiling. She'd change the channel on them when they're watching something. Hot things were cold things were hot, too sugary, too salty. Wouldn't give it the right time of day. So every time I brought home a girl, a beautiful song would go through my head about what my mother thought of every girl I brought home. You want to hear it? Yeah. Of course, you get nowhere to go. When you bring home a girl that your mama don't like, she's a whore. It's cute. So it's so what I always say this to a lot of people. What I love about doing comedy, I'm really honest on stage. I talk about what I do, but I'm always proud of my nationality. So I tell each and every one of you, be proud of your nationality, be proud of what you are and who you are, whatever ethnicity that you are. But yeah, that's how you say it. Whatever, who's keeping count? So be proud of what you are. I'm proud to be Italian, but most of all, be proud that you're an American. Give it up to the U.S. Everybody hates us, but they all want to live here, right? They all want to reap of our benefits. And I think it's very, very, very cool. And I always say this at every show. Let's hear it for the veterans now or in the past, or present or future. Hear it for the veterans who protect our country. That's good stuff. If anybody served in this room, all I say is thank you, okay? Or currently serving. That's good stuff. So when I do my shows, I always say, be proud of your nationality. So in this audience, do we have any Irish people here? Any Irish people here? No, there's no bar here, so you're lost. Any German people here? Any people of the German? Because I saw a few people walking outside, so I just didn't know. And there's only one Italian here, but I must tell you this, folks. I am so proud to be Italian, I wrote my own national anthem. You want to hear it? Who's into classic rock? You know, like the bands from the 60s, 70s, and the 80s, right? It's classic rock. Anybody into it here? Anybody like? So, here's the deal. This is my rendition of a song written by Queen. You guys know Queen? This is my national anthem for being Italian by Queen. We wear gold chains. We got a very small brains. Got an uncle named Bob. He's got an old job. He works for the mob. We all got big noses. Grab our privates, we do. Got an apartment of our own above Mom and Pop on floor 2. And we drive IROCs. We are Italians, my friends. And we love the girls with big rear ends. We are Italians, hung just like stallions. Goombas and paisans, 'cause we are Italians. We love girls. That's cool. And I also run. Anybody run in this room? I didn't think so. Oh, he says half and half. Does he run? He says half and half. Is he the one that you said earlier? I've never seen you run. I've known you.
Go after my dog.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's it? That's all you do? Worf. Never mind. I won't say it. All right. So I run. Every year I run the Boston Marathon. This past year I ran the marathon. Isn't that cool? 26 miles, 385 yards. It's good, huh? Well, don't clap too hard. I just finished it the other day. I kind of went shopping. I went to the hotel, had dinner. It was nice. One thing about the marathon, if anybody ever runs, you meet people from all over the world. Boston is one of the most prestigious marathons, from Hopkinton to Boston, 26 miles and 385 yards. It's really cool. So I meet people from all over the world. I met this Italian guy, Giuseppe, from Italy. This past year, same age as me. It was really cool. He was 59. He's from Italy, and I'm Italian-American. He's just mostly Italians coming here to visit. I go, Giuseppe, nice to meet you. He goes, and nice to meet you too. I said, why don't we run the marathon together? I go, what do you want to do for time? He goes, 4 hours or 4.5 hours. I go, that's what I want to do. Why don't we support each other? I don't know if I could do the marathon, and I don't have the confidence to do 26 miles. I said, come on, we can do it. We're running together. We get to mile 13, he stops, turns around, and he runs back. He couldn't run 26. He ran 13, then he turned back. Wow. Yeah, the joke's not that good. All right. What I don't like, and I always tell this to every audience, I don't like aging. We're all aging. We're sitting in the room. The young people don't care because they don't care. But we all know when you're over 40, time seems to slip by a little faster. You have grandkids, it's even worse. Isn't this true? Time slips by faster. So it's lousy. We don't want to age, but we know we're going to have to. We try to do everything to stay younger and, try to do, exercise, walk, drink heavily. No, I'm kidding. Exercise, walk, eat right, drink water, do all kinds of things. But, it's very hard. It's very difficult. And you're getting older after you turn 40. Look at the women. Women have to have breast exams, the pancake, squish, I know how it is, it's tough. Men have to have a special exam. I won't say what it is. It involves a rubber glove, Vaseline, someone going, okay. That's all you need to know. And I remember it's called a rectal exam. It's a magical experience. I remember my friend teased me the whole time when I turned 40. He goes, you got to go for that exam. I go, you're a year behind me. He goes, I don't care. You get it before me. I go, well, who cares? He goes, you should care. He goes, I think your doctor likes you. I go, what do you mean? He goes, he's got the upper hand. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, I think he likes you. I go, what do you mean? He goes, remember when we were downtown? He's trying to remind you of your rectal exam. He sees you, he waves at you, and he goes just like this. I said, get out of here. You know what happened? I said, I'm not going to listen to my friend. I went for my exam. You know what happened? The lights were dim. Champagne was on ice, and Seal was playing. Following year, I had a new doctor. He didn't know me. I didn't know him. He had to do the exam. It was my annual exam. I had to do it. I says, I'm going to do it. I don't know this guy. He don't know me. I don't like him. He don't like me. What I found out about him is he did play classic rock. I mentioned earlier I love classic rock. He played music from the 60s, 70s, 80s. He played Elvis, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Temptations, Supremes, Heart, Eagles, Led Zeppelin, everything, The Who. Great music. And I appreciated that. I wouldn't appreciate someone going there, but whatever. I knew it was for me. So I'm going in, the music's great. I go, I'm not excited about the exam, but the music's calming me down. Music calms you down. Is this true? Yeah, pretty much. My luck, I go in the room, I drop my pants. He does his thing, starts playing Backdoor Man from the Doors. Another sign of aging. 45, I hurt my back, okay? Go to my doctor. I go, give me stretching exercises and I'm out of here. He goes, I can't. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, looking at your x-rays, you pretty much screwed up your back pretty bad. I go, what? He goes, you, my friend, have to go to a physical therapist. I was sad. I was bummed out. I'm going to the physical therapist's office. I'm saying, this is a sign of aging. Then I saw the lineup of who worked there. Candy, Bambi, Felicia, Delilah. I felt like Mo Vaughn going to the Foxy Lady. I says, this is like a strip joint. Look who's going to do me. Who's going to rub their hands in my back, make me feel like the man I never felt like before. I'm going to feel young again. Who did I get that night? Bob. So, which goes into the next part of my act, which is classic rock. I love classic rock. Most of you do. If you don't think you do, you probably do because you think of bands from the big hair bands or the 70s disco bands or the classic rock, or the hard rock bands. So I like it, but I have a problem with classic rock bands. What's my problem? When I was 18, they were doing their music about, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Fast forward to now. So if I was 18, they were in their 20s and 30s. How old are these bands now? 50s and 60s, am I correct? And they're still playing. I've got a beef with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. If you're over 50, sing about the truth. No sex, meds, and Social Security, right? So you want to hear some songs? There are some songs I'm going to do for you with these bands, which I think they should change their words to accommodate us baby boomers, okay? Or us people that are over 40. How about the Eagles? On a dark desert highway, Grecian formula in my hair, that strong scent of Bengay rising into the air. Up ahead in the distance, I see a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I was low on Geritol that night. Come on, right? Remember Meatloaf? You took my dentures out of my mouth. All right, that's a visual. Let's see, the Pointer Sisters, that's an old one. I'm so excited, well, I just can't hide it. I lost my bladder control, and I don't like it. Grand Funk Railroad. We're a geriatric band. We're a geriatric band. To keep from falling down, we'll bring our walkers around. We're a geriatric band. Bob Seger or Metallica for this song. Here I am, I've got to go again. Here I am, while I'm up on the stage. There I go, in my adult diapers again. And I know it's old age. Don't clap for any of these, please. And you don't. That's what I like about you guys. Elton John. She's got a saggy boobs, corrective shoes, and she has a walker to keep her in line. She better get the pens. Remember Van Halen? Anima! ZZ Top for Texas rock fans. Can't stand up, can't sit down, I got pain in my rump round. I can't take it too much. Oh Lord, take me to the drugstore so I can buy some medicated Tux. Guns N' Roses? Anybody Guns N' Roses? There's a groan. Here we go. Guns N' Roses. Take me down to the Florida City for the early bird special with my little old bitty nursing home. It's kind of cute. Rolling Stones. Do you realize Mick Jagger this year turns 72 years old in July? Mick Jagger, the Rolling Stones. I can't hear you. I know it's only Metamucil, but I like it. One of my favorite ones is Aerosmith. I love. Oh, well, wait. Before I get Aerosmith, this is for the women. How many women like Journey? Journey? Yeah, I love Journey, but they're the same thing. They're up there. Just a 70-year-old boy dealing with these hemorrhoids. A colonoscopy, a rectal exam for me. Why growing old can hurt so bad? Everybody's mad at the Journey reference, huh? I love Aerosmith. How many like Aerosmith? Aerosmith, right? Aerosmith, great band, great entertainer. Steven Talley, he's nuts. Walk this way. What'd you say? I am gray. I use Bengay. Here's a double bonus. Do, 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 do. Jenny's got a prescription oxycodone. She's got a 40-year-old son. She wears her hair up in a bun. Her hair is kind of gray and blue. She's got to take some pills at 2. She's got a Posturepedic mattress that she uses for her back pain. Her doctor says you better take some Metamucil, eat foods with whole grain. Oh, thank you. One of the best ones is Paul Simon to bring it down. There must be 50 ways of growing older. Just throw out your back, Jack. Put on Depends, Ben. Take out your teeth, Keith. Just listen to me. Move in with your kids, Sid. It's time for your pill bill. Just take another Peely and collect Social Security. Isn't that cute? That's cute, huh? Thank you. Now, the nice part about classic rock, you can share it with your grandparents, your kids, everybody, you know, nephews, nieces, aunts and uncles. People remember all that stuff from way back when. So think of how lucky we am to listen to these people. Who remembers the Doobie Brothers? Remember Doobie Brothers? Michael McDonald led the Doobie Brothers. She came from somewhere back in the long ago. She had a place in his life. What the hell is he saying? How many women remember Al Green? Al Green, romantic soul artist, even men. Remember Al Green? Sang about love, swayed his body, sang, moved, put you in the mood. I swear when you watch Al Green sing, he was constipated. Let me show you why. Al Green, this is my imitation of Al Green, one of his first songs. I am so in love with you, whatever you want me to is what I feel. You make me feel so brand new. Oh, baby, I gotta go to the bathroom every time I watch him sing. The Bee Gees. Who remembers the Bee Gees? Admit it. Who remembers the Bee Gees? Come on, you're not a loser. Men did not like the Bee Gees. Why? They didn't sing any manly songs. The only manly song the Bee Gees had was this one. Lonely days, lonely nights, where would I be without my inflatable woman? I mean, we collectively could get mad at the Bee Gees. They could have capitalized on the baby market with this song. In my diapers, I have done a massive 2 shits. So, when I was going to Maine once, way up there, I don't know, I was 8 light years away. I was up in the northern part. Let's just put it that way. You know, Holton or whatever you know, they could do a new TV show out of it, like that new TV show where you go to the town and you can't leave. That's Holton or Presque Isle. But anyway, so I'm driving up there, one radio station had a Bob Dylan documentary. How many people like Bob Dylan? Anybody? Now, people, the documentary said Bob Dylan is a genius. Folks, not in that same sentence should those words go. Because Bob Dylan, folks, you want to hear 2 of his greatest hits? Yo, you recognize these. Tell you nothing blue. The only 4 words I knew in that song, okay? And then Bob Dylan said in the documentary, it took him 11.5 hours to write this one song. You tell me how much of a genius he is, all right? You ready? I want you. I want you. I want you so bad. Come on! In my worst drinking days, I could write a hell of a lot better than that. Because he rhymes, it's a hit. So it stands to reason, if you call Bob Dylan, this is what you get in his answer machine. You reach the Bob Dylan phone. I'm not home. I'm out eating a chicken bone or an ice cream cone. Don't moan, don't groan, just leave a message at the tone. No, thanks for the one clap. Okay, good. How about this, ladies? I'm going to ask you a collective question. It's also to do with these musical groups, classic rock. We all know the answer. Can white men dance? No. We look like we've got bowel obstruction when we move up there, you know. Drop us off at the ER, right? The other one is, did we ever impress you with the air guitar? Ladies, how many are impressed with this thing? None of you. You're dating an epileptic, drop him off at the ER. Worst of all, you ever date a guy where you're at the dance, you know, it's always cover music comes on, and they try to imitate the rock and roll guy and alcoholic, which means they slur the words. That was me. How I impress women, I try to imitate Pearl Jam. Anybody know Pearl Jam up here? I know this is me, and I want to make sure. Who knows Pearl Jam? This is my imitation to impress women, doing Eddie Vedder, the lead singer of Pearl Jam. Water, and I water, sounds like he's sleeping with a goat. Ooh, and I heard it, water every day. Ooh, I'm embarrassing myself at this point, but that's my imitation of Pearl Jam. Thank you. Oh, thank you. She likes Pearl Jam. That's amazing. So here's the deal now. Now I do a lot of voices too. They're in my head, I know that, but I do a lot of voices. Here's some imitations, some cool imitations or impressions or voices I like doing to entertain people. So leave them on my phone, but my relatives stopped calling, which was good. It worked. So here's some imitations. One of my favorite ones was The Godfather. Remember The Godfather? Famous movie The Godfather? Marlon Brando? Marlon Brando, now there's a child in the audience, but this isn't even dirty, okay? This is Marlon Brando having an orgasm. Marlon Brando, The Godfather. That's it. It's a quick one. And here is my imitation of Dustin Hoffman, the Rain Man. You guys remember the Rain? How many saw the Rain Man? Was that a good movie? Did it come up in Maine yet? It did. Dustin Hoffman, the Rain Man. Yeah, I feel like him up here now. Yeah, 14 people, 2 laughs, 1 clap. Yeah, Biddeford sucks, yeah. I'm kidding. That's just a quick one of the Rain Man. This is Elmer Fudd does the Kinks. Remember Elmer Fudd from the cartoons? I met her in a bar in Old Soho. We drank champagne and it tastes just like cherry cola. C.O. Waco. I asked her name and I asked her to dance. In the background voice, she said her name was Whoa. It's cute, kind of cute, huh? Yeah, not worth a clap. How about this? Miss Piggy does the Who. See me, feel me, touch me, cur me. I know, hide the kids. One of my favorite ones is Robert De Niro in the movie Jaws. They capture the first shark. This is Robert. How many like Robert De Niro? You like Robert De Niro? He's a good actor. Robert De Niro in Jaws, the first shark. That's a big frickin' fish. Bill Clinton does the Spice Girls. He probably did. That's always a good joke. Bill Clinton does the Spice. You guys, how many voted for Bill Clinton? I wanted him in office all his life because great stuff I have off him. I'll give you 3 examples. Bill Clinton does the Spice Girls. If you want to be my intern, first you got to be my friend. Step into my Oval Office, then I ride your rear end. Or Bill Clinton, here's another one. Bill Clinton and the Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz goes, would you like Bill Clinton? He goes, frankly, I'd like Dorothy. Or Bill Clinton in The Graduate, famous movie Dustin Hoffman was in also. In a famous scene in The Graduate. Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me. All right. All right. Hey, before I go, I want to thank you. I want to thank Ashley. I want to thank, what's the guy's name back there? Whatever. Steve. Ralph? Steve? Steve? And who's the girl that just yells out stuff? Pat. Pat, yeah. Thanks. Well, whatever. They don't care. Thank you. Thank you, you guys. Before I leave you, I'm going to tell you a couple of my favorite street jokes. Laughter is the best medicine. Me and Ashley talked about it. It helps you through difficult times. It's not going to cure anything, but it can help. It puts you in a better mood. So I always have these jokes that I always like. Here's 2 of my favorite jokes, and then I'm going to leave you with 1 song. 2 of my favorite jokes. This young couple, young Italian couple. They're having twins. They're having babies. And so it was Italian-American, but they had an Italian uncle straight from Italy. He wanted to come over during the birth to see the 2 children. So the husband goes to the wife. He goes, look, Gina, I don't want your uncle naming the kids. He's a whack job. I don't want him. I don't want to know the names. He's losing it. He's in his 80s. He's out of here. No, it means so much to me. She goes, we're going to have a twins, and we want him to name him. The first baby comes out, beautiful baby girl. He looks at the baby girl. They go, Uncle, what do you think? He goes, I think we should name this a baby girl, Denise. They said, oh, that's a nice name, Denise. And husband goes, oh, I'm shocked. I mean, thought he'd come up with some screwball name. Then the other twin come out. It was a boy, a beautiful baby boy. Uncle, what do you think of him? We name him the nephew. Here's a good joke. Hopefully it's better. Hopefully it's better. Did you hear what I said? 3 guys who work in construction, Italian, a Mexican, and a Polish guy. Construction, you know, top of the building. Italian opens his lunchbox. He goes, oh no, spaghetti and meatballs. I have a spaghetti, meatballs, and tomato jump off of the building. The Mexican, ooh, tacos. I have tacos, tomato jump off the building with you too. Polish guy, ooh, kielbasa. I have kielbasa, tomato jump off with you too. Next day comes, lunch whistle rings, you know, break time. They're nervous, they're tentative. Finally, the Italian's shaking up his lunchbox. He goes, oh no, spaghetti, meatballs, and banana mia! He jumps out the building and he dies. Secondly, the Mexican opens up lunchbox. He goes, ooh, tacos, tacos, ay, ay, ay! He jumps out the building. He dies too. People laugh at death. That's good. Third one, the Polish guy opens up the lunchbox. He goes, kielbasa, kielbasa, kielbasa! He dies too. That night was the wake. All 3 widows are there, bewildered, saying, like, what could have happened? How could they have changed things? What could have made things better? How could the husband still be here? Finally, the Italian widow spoke up, and she goes, my poor Giorgio, if I did not give him the spaghetti and meatballs, he'd still be alive today. The Mexican wife says, my poor Pappy, if I didn't get Pappy tacos, he'd still be here with me today, too. Polish wife stands there. She goes, I don't understand that. Walter makes his own lunch every day. Before I leave, this is one of my favorite songs. If you're my age range or even a little younger, you'll remember the Mamas and the Papas, right? Mamas and Papas? I'm going to ask you to help me sing the song. All you have to do is when I put my arms up, all you go is ba-da-da-da-da-da. And when I put them down, you stop. Is that easy? It's a song about a car that I hate, okay? And I'm reiterating about it now through the song. Are you ready? Come on, let's do it. We'll have some fun. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da. Hyundai, Hyundai, ba-da-da. It's junk to me, ba-da-da. Hyundai, Hyundai, it didn't come with a warranty. Oh, Hyundai, Hyundai, Hyundai this morning wouldn't start for me. Oh, Hyundai, Hyundai, send those missing parts to me. Every other car, every other car, every other car, every other car I had was fine. Oh, yeah. Every other Monday, every other Wednesday, it's in the shop most of the time. Hyundai, Hyundai. You guys look confused now. Take it back, please. Guys, you're still doing it, by the way. Hyundai, Hyundai. You guys sound like the King family on acid. Joke from the Japanese. That's my time. I'm Jerry Caruso. Good night. God bless you all. God bless Ashley. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
I just wanted to thank everyone for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
This is my...
Oh, gee, could have been Ashley's mother. Could have been. Trying to smooth us over with the cupcakes. That didn't help. All right. Is she really? Tell her I'm sorry. Okay.
I just wanted to thank everyone for coming.
I could have said this for you.
This is my first live audience.
Thank you, live audience.
I hope I did okay.
She did great, didn't she?
And I wanted to thank Jerry Caruso for coming.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Biddeford. Did I leave anybody else? No, this one. 20 people in Biddeford, something like that. We got most of the town here. Thank you for having me. God bless.
I hope you all enjoyed the show as much as I did.
Yep. The whole show, I couldn't get a joke out.